Good morning, everyone. I'm going to convene our meeting. It's for Wednesday, October 15th, the California Unemployment Insurance Appeals Board here in Sacramento at our headquarters. We're now in open session. The board will accept public comment on any agenda item or any other matter under our jurisdiction. Speakers are asked to limit their testimony to approximately 5 minutes on each agenda item or any other matter that's under our jurisdiction. The order of the agenda may be changed to accommodate the board or the public. With that, I'll begin the roll call with myself. Michael Allen, Chair, present.
Laura Kent-Monning, present.
Michael Eng, present.
Bob Wojkowski here.
Richard Roth, present.
Great. So we have the roll call, and all board members are present with Member Eng appearing via Zoom. So with that, we'll go to the next item on our agenda, which is approval of our minutes, the board minutes for September 17th, 2025. I believe all our members had an opportunity to review the minutes for accuracy. So I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Great. So I'd ask all members to indicate aye for
Aye.
approval.
Aye.
Okay, great.
Aye.
Thank you, Member Eng. So the next thing for my report is that, first of all, like always, I just want to thank all the elements that make up our agency, whether it's our judges, the support staff, IT, which I needed this morning, and I'm very grateful for the fact that they're always available and helpful. Our judges at both levels, the FO and AO level, and always for my board members, as I've indicated on many occasions here, our board is very good and attentive to the cases, take them really seriously, ask great questions, and always with the understanding that we bring different life experiences to these meetings and to the adjudication of our cases, and so it's always done with an eye toward doing justice to the parties. So just my really gratitude for everyone who makes this agency so successful. With that, I'll turn to my co-chair here, my vice chair, and I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you. Just thank you, no report this month, but I wanted to thank Chief Kutry and CIO Campwed, who in between the last board meeting and now made the rounds and met with each of the board members, I'm pretty sure, individually, and gave us a lot of good details and updates about our CAM system, big picture, weeds, a lot of internal parts of that, and a lot related to security issues for the agency. So I just want to thank you for the time that you took to do that. Really appreciate it.
All right.
That's all.
Yes. Member Eng?
Yeah, I wanted to echo Vice Chair Kent-Monning's appreciation. I did receive that briefing as well, and very, very helpful, and answered a lot of the questions that I had previously asked. Other than that, nothing more to report.
Thank you. Member Wojkowski?
Chair Allen, I am following the instructions I received at the briefing on cybersecurity. So
I'm very pleased to hear that.
yeah.
We need you trained, Member.
Member Roth?
No report, Mr. Chair.
Great. So with that, we'll move it to, we had board reports, so we will move it to, is there any public comment today?
Chair Allen, I have no hands raised for public comment at this time.
Okay, with no public comment, we will move the agenda. And the next report will be from Judge Michael Kutry, our Executive Director, an update on the state of the agency and field workload.
Thank you, and good morning, Chair Allen and board members. In September, our daily appeal intake remained stable and relatively low, and it's comparable to non-recessionary, non-pandemic years. So we're back at the level of pre-March of 2020. At the same time, the field offices issued just over 18,800 decisions in September, a modest increase from August. The overall inventory was further reduced by almost 1,000 cases. Our average case age over the summer was very close to Department of Labor compliance. But in September, the field was finally able to exceed the required average case age of 30 days. It closed the month at 29.3 days. It's a huge milestone. And for a little reminder and perspective, we were last compliant with that measurement in September of 2020, when the cases from the pandemic just started to flow in en masse. And we hit a peak average case age of just over 144 days in April of 2023. So I have a huge thank you to go out to the field offices, judges, and staff for meeting this goal. It is truly an agency-wide effort when that happens, and demonstrates every field office's commitment to each individual case file. Most importantly, it signifies as an agency that our parties who are waiting for resolution of their benefits claims are getting the shortest possible wait time and the fastest possible decision. So a little bit of additional perspective, U.S. Department of Labor also requires the states to close 60% of appeals within 30 days and 80% of appeals within 45 days. And those numbers continue to improve over the last 5 years, especially in comparison, where we had single digits in both of those numbers. In September, the field offices closed almost 20% of appeals within 30 days and almost 70% of appeals within 45 days. So we expect continued improvement in those figures as well. We talk about CAMS and the efficiencies that it brings, but one of the biggest efficiencies is our ability to move workload rapidly, in fact, overnight, from office to office. And to continue to match the capacity of the offices, we moved over 1,700 cases among field offices in the last month. I am pleased to report that I don't have any new security issues to present to the board, so that will conclude my rather brief report this month, and I'm happy to take any questions.
Thank you. I'll open up to the board for any questions of Judge Kutry.
Thank you. Just kudos to the field to echo what you said. That is a big milestone, and 5 years was the last time that we hit it. So it's a lot of work that's been done in the last 5 years dealing with those pandemic-related influx. So just shout out to the field for all the hard work.
Yes. Any other board members wish to make comment before we move the agenda?
I guess I have a question on the 1,700 cases, Chair.
Sure, go ahead.
That have been moved, and somebody who's been interested in case aging, I congratulate everybody who's involved. Is that 1,700 cases of shifting, is that where you think the medium's going to be, or will we see more or less shift casing as we go in the next fiscal year?
Hopefully you'll see less. The appeals are still sent to the field offices, or I should say the respective field offices, based on geography when they come from EDD. So as years go by and staffing levels change in those offices, sometimes those ratios don't fit anymore. But to go enter into that exercise with EDD and have those zip codes changed as to where the offices will be that receive the cases is a big exercise, takes a lot of time.
Gotcha.
So we're undertaking that now, but in the meantime, we have the ability to move the cases around manually. So in a perfect world, you wouldn't have to move anything around. It would all be perfectly suited to the staffing capacity. But as you know, staffing capacity can change pretty rapidly. So we'll embark on that exercise, get things hopefully as right-sized as possible in terms of the case distributions, but we'll still have to move some things around manually.
Thank you. I agree. We're far from a perfect world. Yes. So let's move the agenda. I got a report last night from Judge Bach, our supervising administrative law judge, who's going to give a report. And I'm pleased to tell you that we closed out 1,000 cases. And of those, 999 were in CAMS and 1 was in legacy. So having made that report on the numbers, I'll turn it over to Judge Bach.
Good morning. So for my report, I'd like to go over the Department of Labor numbers for second level review. To meet the Department Labor guidelines, we're to close 50% of our cases within 45 days and 80% of our cases within 75 days. For the Department of Labor year so far, we're at 43.9% of our cases in 45 days and 95.6% of our cases within 75 days. Additionally, the Department of Labor has a guideline for case aging, which is 40 days, and we're at the end of September at 36.6. So well within that guideline. I want to mention that I think it is a really huge milestone, and I'm so impressed with the field operations and what an amazing job they've done. And other than that, I would say I just have, if anyone has any questions.
Yeah, I'll turn it over. First of all, just a big thank you because you're all so helpful to us and everyone in the agency, the judges. So I'll turn it over. Any comments from board members?
I have no questions.
No questions? Is that what you said? Member Rang, you have any questions?
No questions. Thank
Okay.
you.
Okay. Just want to make sure everybody has the opportunity if they need to ask a question. With that, we'll turn it over to the report of our Chief Information Officer, John Campue, update on the state of the Information Technology Branch. And once again, thank you for your timely service this morning.
Oh, you're welcome. And good morning, board members. As we continue to work extensively on transitioning the tax operations from the legacy systems to CAMS, our team is working closely with tax, the Office of Tax, to refine business requirements to ensure the rollout aligns with the organizational priorities. And this work will help provide the clarity needed to finalize the project timeline. And this initiative remains our top priority and represents a major investment to both staff and technical resources. And we also have successfully onboarded 2 new developers to accelerate delivery of these efforts as well as CAMS initiatives. In parallel, we're continuing to modernize our technology systems with a strong emphasis on keeping our platform secure and reliable to support daily operations. And that's a short report, but I'm happy to take any questions.
Thank you. My only comment is that I think that for us who are just who use the system, we never quite realize, even with the successful implementation of any system, how many things are going on behind that screen and in the system that we have no idea of. And so I totally appreciate the work that we get from IT and yourself and the staff there. So thank you. And I'll ask board members if they have any questions or comments.
Just a quick follow-up question. Thanks for the report. You mentioned onboarding 2 new developers. Is
Yes.
that CUIB employees or is that contracts with different entities that we are working on?
Yes, they're they're CUIB
Okay,
employees.
great. Well, welcome to them.
Yes.
Thanks.
Member Eng?
Nothing to ask other than I found the orientation very helpful, and perhaps that can be done maybe on an annual basis because so much of our work is based on the technology. But thank you again for the work that was done and also for the orientation.
You're welcome.
Member Wachowski?
I have no technical inquiries today.
Thank you.
Member Roth?
No question, Mr. Chair.
All right. So we'll move right along. We have the report from Robert Silver, our Chief Administrative Services Officer, an update on the services branch. So go ahead.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Board members. I'll start off by reporting that since the board adopted the budget last month, admin staff and IT procurement staff are off and running to purchase the items that were approved under the operating expenses portion of that budget. Particularly Doug Mattis in admin, who has the role of completing the facility remodel projects for our Pasadena and Sacramento offices, which obviously takes some time to plan and execute. The larger scope project being our Pasadena office, he was able to work for 3 months prior to last month's board meeting to get the scope of the plan pretty much done. So we're right there. Supervising ALJ Wayland made some last minute changes, which is absolutely her prerogative to do so since it's her office. So he's working with her on those, and we hope to get the finalized plans to Department of General Services very soon. Moving to recruitment, as has been the theme in recent months, due to the decreases in workload, recruitment in field operations continues to be quiet. Over the past 2 months, we've only welcomed 4 new support staff positions in field operations. As previously reported to the board, our Bay Area office in Oakland had been struggling to hire office assistants and office technicians. Member Roth asked me at that meeting to inquire with labor agency to see if others had had the same problems, and their report was a resounding yes. A lot of people have had difficulty hiring those entry-level positions in both San Francisco and Oakland. However, I have good news. The Bay Area office, our Bay Area office, was successful in hiring 2 seasonal clerk positions that have come aboard. The other 2 new support staff positions I mentioned of the 4, one in Fresno and one in Los Angeles, actually represent promotions for 2 employees from seasonal clerk positions to office assistant permanent positions. So over the past 5 years or so, we've been very successful in preparing seasonal clerks for permanent office assistant or office technician positions, and we've converted many of them. So again, hopefully these seasonal clerk positions in the Bay Area, if they work out, then in the near future, we'll be able to convert them to something more permanent. As a reminder, seasonal clerks can only work 1,500 hours in a 12 consecutive month period. So other than the backfill recruitments for a retiring supervising ALJ and a retiring legal support supervisor, we only have 4 pending recruitments in field and appellate operations, all of which are at the office assistant or office technician level. And lastly, after the execution of our statewide contract for CPR training, over the last 2 months, all of our offices have received on-site training except for 2. The Bay Area is scheduled for tomorrow, and then our San Jose office is going to receive CPR training on the 28th. So far at each location, participation, has been very robust, and so we're in the process of updating all of the rosters for each office with those that are currently certified for CPR. In previous years, when we had done this, they were geographic agreements for CPR. We were able to land this vendor to do statewide, and they have been nothing short of wonderful. So we're hopeful that we can just continue this process as every 2 years we need this, we can hopefully obtain the same vendor for these services. That is my report. Happy to take any questions.
Okay. I have no questions. I'll turn it to my other board members.
No questions. Thank you for the detailed report.
Member Ng?
Yeah, thank you for the report, Chief. So just a quick question, based on the legislative session that just ended and the governor's deadline for signing bills, was there anything in legislation or trailer bill language that would have affected our budget or our ability to function?
No, there's none at all.
I don't think he heard you.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, there were no impacts to CUIB.
Okay, thank you.
I have a question.
Sure.
On this relationship between the Department of Governmental Services and the agency, who makes the decisions, or how does that on the remodel? Right, you have a remodel. I presume that Pasadena and Sacramento say we're not meeting our needs. How does that work out with Department of Governmental Services? Because I haven't had a lot of relationships with or contacts with them, but when it seems problematic when I have, I guess I'll put it.
It's a Department of General Services.
General Services.
Other than their meter constantly running
Yeah.
with all of our departments, we do not find them problematic. With Department of General Services, they officially hold every lease for departments within the state of California. So as part of the lease renewal with our Pasadena office and these tenant improvements that are happening, we involved General Services because they hold the lease, so they have to have buy-off on whatever remodeling plans we wish to do in any one of our leased facilities.
And when the leases, if I may, when the leases come up, there's now a lot of surplus government property or state property, and also the type of work that we do, whether we're in person or not in person, all that's evolving. That's evolving. Do we go? Is there a procedure that we go through with Department of Governmental Services or internally that we go through to determine what our needs are? I mean, I realize like in Oakland, it's a state building, so it is what it is, right? But others are leased properties. How does that work?
Well, we typically would like to, if at all possible, stay within the current leased facility because it has all the infrastructure built for us. But General Services does, on our behalf, when it's time for any lease renewal, we'll search the geographic area to see if there's any sort of new available property or better rent deal that can be obtained.
And I guess my final question is that if the state has constructed a new state building, are you included in that property or included in the discussion of whether you're going to locate there in that property?
Yes, whenever the state buys or builds a building, all departments are offered space within those buildings through Department of General Services.
Okay.
State buildings come with their own issues. That's not always the most attractive thing for a department to move into a state building, but we are made the offer.
Thank you.
Okay.
Great work on thank you, Mr. Chair. Great work on the CPR effort. I tried for 12 years to have that happen in the California State Senate without success. So you get a gold star from me.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. So the last thing I would like to do before I close the meeting is I'd like to turn to our board council and ask you if we had any items for a closed session today.
Thank you, Chair Allen. We do not.
Okay. Well, having said that, my last commentary is just wanting to thank everybody today for your service to the state. And also, I hope some of you were able to observe the harvest moon this year. We have 3 super moons this year. And there's nothing quite like getting moonstruck late at night going out when there's a super moon. So we have 2 more coming up. So with that, I will adjourn the meeting as we're moonstruck. Okay.
Super.